let's get to work! How is it going, guys? Welcome back to Jimmy's No Garage. In the last episode, I showed you how I fitted my Duraflex side skirt on the car. Shortly after that, I found a shop that can make some paint for me. I got 1 quart red paint and the reducer and the hardener and all the cups and stuff. So let's go ahead and start painting. Bro, you wish. I'm just joking. I've done a lot of work to it in the last episode, but apparently it's not enough. I had to fix a lot of pinholes, a lot of air pockets with the Bondo glass. Right here you can see that I'm spreading a bunch of Bondo glass in between the gap. When it dries up, it's gonna give me a perfect lip. And it's not gonna stick on the tape, so it's nice. I want to shout out to Pete from D.I.Y Auto School on YouTube. I actually learned this trick from watching his videos, and his videos are great, straightforward, no BS. I drove the car like this for a day. And this is the end result. You have no idea how much time I spent on sanding. I've tried my best. After all the sanding and shaping, the side skirt now fits nicely on the car, and the panel gaps are nice and spot on. The only thing that's bothering me right now is the gap between the skirt and the door seals. So I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna shove a bunch of Bondo glass in between the gap, and after it dries up, I'm gonna sand it back down to shape the lip better. At this point of the video, you might be bored and think that, man, when are you gonna start painting? But I really want to show you what I did to make the side skirt fit perfect on my car, and how much time I actually spent on working on it. The thing about working on cars is that there's always gonna be some oopsies when you're fixing it. Say like you think this is gonna be a 1-hour job, but a strip bolt will turn the whole job into a 6-hour job. Working on this side skirt is pretty much the same thing. I'm sure a lot of you guys would enjoy watching all the mistakes I made. I don't want to work on the ground anymore, so I went ahead and got this table. I use a sponge as my sanding block. If you can feel any bumps or low spots with your hand, it's gonna show in the paint, so you have to sand it back down or make it even. Also, if you're dry sanding, remember to blow off the dust from the sandpaper from time to time with your air or your mouth. I feel like a freaking sculpture artist, man. Sanding is really tiring. Bondo glass is quite rough, so I gotta fill the pinholes with body fillers. I thought that today I can at least put on some primer, but looks like I can't. Right when I thought I'm ready to paint, I found another air pocket. And right when I'm ready to paint again, I found another one. I've been working back and forth, sanding it down, finding some new holes and sanding it down. It sucks. But I think when I start working on the bumper, it's gonna be much easier, now that I have so much experience. I bought this primer before I get the air compressor, so I think I'm gonna use it first. Turns out this was a bad idea. The spray pattern of this primer is so freaking narrow that I can't even make a nice overlap. It freaking sucks. I got it from Home Depot, and I gotta warn you, don't get it. Get something else from AutoZone or something. I oversprayed a lot and those spots cracked. I either have to sand it back down or stripped it. So I was kind of bummed because I feel like I'm back to square one and I have to do it all over again. I've been working on this for 3 weeks and I have school, I have work. I really want to get it done and paint it, but learning from my mistake yesterday, I went out and bought some of these much better primer. Honestly, this is the first time that I work on a body part, preparing it for paint like this. And most of the time I have no idea what the f I'm doing. So my workflow wasn't the best. I feel like if I'm more experienced, I can speed things up a lot faster. I sanded the side skirts down with a 220 grit sandpaper, and I also fill a lot more pinholes while I'm at it. I thought I put on many coats of red, but after sanding it, it became black again quickly. So I'm afraid that it's gonna show under the sun, like one spot is gonna be black and one spot is gonna be more red. So now I'm going to get some more primer. I really hope that I can finish it today, because if I don't, I have to wait till next Saturday. I really want to finish it up quickly. I got 2 cans of this primer sealer because they don't have the red ones anymore. So I don't know what's the point of me getting the red paint in the first place. So the primer sealer is gonna be my final coat, and I'm not gonna sand that because I've already sanded it before. Now we can start mixing the paint. When I bought the paint, they actually gave me some instructions as well. The paper tells you the mixing ratio, the pressure, and the dry times and stuff like that, so it's pretty good. I also got this measuring cup so I can mix the paint correctly. The mixing ratio for these shop line paint is gonna be 4 parts color, 1 part hardener, and 2 parts reducer. I also make this stirrer from the coat hanger. The number 6 in the first column equals to around like 14 ounces. Pour the hardener in the cup until it reaches the second 6. And the reducer as well to 6. Take a look at my setup. I'm pretty new to this. I got this 21-gallon air compressor from Harbor Freight, and it has like 4.7 CFM at 9 TPSI. I think I'm gonna have around 65 PSI on this end. And on the spray gun side, I got this water and oil separator and something. And after the quick connect, we have the air regulator. Right now it's showing you 40 PSI, but when you press the spray gun, it's gonna become like around 25. I still don't know like what PSI I'm gonna use, so we're gonna see later. This spray gun, the air compressor, and all the hoses and stuff, I actually got all of them at Harbor Freight, and the gun is only like 10 bucks with the coupon, but it works. Got everything set up and ready to paint. The driver's side skirt deserves a better position because I'm gonna see it every day and I don't want to mess up. I wiped them down with the wax and grease remover one last time. And the very last thing I did was to wipe the side skirt down with the tack cloth. The cloth is lint free, so it's not gonna leave anything on there. It's a good final wipe down. Before we start painting, let's adjust the spray gun. I want the spraying distance to be this long and the pattern to be this wide. The side skirts are pretty narrow, so I don't need a wide spray pattern. For the fluid control, I actually open it all the way up to the maximum position so that I have maximum fluid going out from the spray gun. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know why the paint looks like this, and it looks like it's not sticking to the paint and it orange peeled like pretty severely. It almost looks like the rocker panel from the Miata, you know, like the rough texture and stuff. That's not what I'm going for, you know. I really don't know why this happened. Is it because of the surface being too smooth, or the paint being too thick, or not enough air? I have no idea. Should I stop and sand it back down, or should I continue? I have no idea. But the mixed paint has to be used in 8 hours or it will dry up. So I guess I have no choice but to keep spraying. I'm gonna let it sit for 10 minutes before the next coat. I also want to take this time to shout out to Brian from Paint Society. His video taught me a lot. Seriously, I've been referencing his videos throughout this whole process. Can you believe that people are actually sharing these valuable content for free? Unbelievable. If you're watching this, Brian, thank you. Oh, Bondo. Oh. Fortunately, it was in the bottom and you can't really see it. Actually, it's not bad. Well, there's always gonna be some dust and imperfections on the paint because I'm not spraying in the spray booth. So yeah, I tried. It's pretty good. Here comes the third coat. The final coat. I'm gonna focus on this part, build up more paint so that I can wet sand it later. Well, shit happens. A fly stuck right in the middle of the side skirt. Like, out of everywhere. It had to stick on the middle. And look at here too, 2 black dots. I knew that this is gonna happen in the garden. If I hadn't prepared it as good as I can, there would be way more holes and imperfections now.
The next day.
The paint actually looked way better after drying for a night. The orange peel actually look much flatter right now.
The next morning.
Putting the grills back on. A viewer reminded me that I have to put double-sided tape on the edges so that it will fit better. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for riding along. The side skirt came out great and I'm really happy about it because I did all the work by myself and I encourage you to do it too. I learned so much in the process. I learned how fiberglass works, how to prepare the body part for paint, and last but not least, I learned how to paint. I'm really glad that I did it. And now we have to answer a very important question. Is Duraflex really that bad of a brand? Speaking from my own experience, I'm gonna say no. You just have to know what you're getting yourself into, man. I mean, like, when you're getting into fiberglass work, you don't expect to just buy the part and slap it on the car and be ready to paint. It's never gonna be that way, I think. Even if it's like expensive parts from gritty or something, you know. You get what you pay for. You gotta adjust your expectation. You can't be expecting like a perfect fitment paying such a low price, you know. If you have the time and the skills, I would say go for it, buy Duraflex. But if you don't, just go get the expensive part and just put it on and call it a day, you know. I hope you enjoyed this video because it's my first English video on this channel. From now on, I'm still gonna do Cantonese videos, but I'm gonna upload an English version on YouTube so that more of you guys can understand me. Because recently I realized that what's the point of making the videos in my own language when I can't reach to certain people on YouTube because of their algorithms. So I guess I'll just make it in English. So go ahead and give me a like down below because English is not even my first language. If you enjoyed the content that I put up, consider subscribing too. Feel free to follow me on Instagram too. I update more frequently and faster on Instagram because you know video editing is very time consuming and sucks. Once again, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.